Hello everyone, this is Curve and welcome to Yakuza 4, all bosses, no damage. I can't really say the difficulty because I did like, I don't know, like a third of these maybe on Legend and the rest of them were done on Hard. But we're starting with Ihara, not much of a boss, but technically is a boss, and you'll see that the furniture kind of messes things up, so this no damage is a little scuffed, but there will be better ones. You'll see that a lot of the no damage in this, a lot of the no damages are in this game are going to be really short, simply because your damage in Yakuza 4 is so crazy high that you just kill people immediately. And for the modded versions, I will be playing Judgment at Home. This uses the Last Judgment mod by Lewis18, which changes the Yakuza 4 to the Judgment 4, alongside changing some of the bosses, as well as the Juggling mod by Bigum Spataditya. Quite a name. I also noticed that I did Ihara as well as some of the other modded bosses in the Ultimate Battles, simply to make retries a little easier. Just ignore the timer and ignore the big success graphic at the end when I do finish the bosses. And you'll see that the juggling mod doesn't work like it does in the official games with juggling, as it's completely infinite, but that doesn't mean that these no damages are easy, as you're going to see. Now, I mean, once again, this is still pretty short because it's the first boss in the game, and you know, he's only got one health bar, but that's unfortunately going to be a running theme for quite a bit of this game. Now this fight is actually not going to be that short. Yakuza 4 has probably been my least favorite game to no damage yet, simply because this game has some absolutely horrendous boss design. A lot of the no damages were either stupidly easy, like the last one, or they really had one single strategy that I could use. And Midori Kawa here falls into that latter camp because for some reason RGG decided to give this boss unbreakable super armor during his second phase. Not to mention that you have to go into this fight with the Sacred Wood armor equipped, or else you literally get shot frame 1 and have no chance to dodge. I don't understand how this game fucks up so badly with some of its bosses. I mean, considering that this is literally just a slightly changed version of Yakuza 3's combat system, which I do like, that game just has incredible boss design, and this one has terrible boss design. Some of the worst bosses in the series, like Midori Kawa here, which we're about to get to his second phase now, where he pulls out his chainsaw. So basically the strat here is just to spam heat actions on him, because heat actions do dummy crazy damage in Yakuza 4. And then at the end I'll do a little counter kick just for a tiny little bit of style. One thing I never understood is why Akiyama's counter kick in this game is invincible, but Tiger Drop isn't. I don't know how that makes sense, but fight over. And what do you know, my strat for the mod version is almost exactly the same. Can you tell that Yakuza 4 is my least favorite Yakuza game? But I'm gonna stop complaining now, because listening to a guy bitch for an hour and a bit isn't very fun. But I will still mention some boss-specific complaints when we get there. But basically for this modded version, it's just combo him till he dies, and then when he dies, pick up the gun and take care of the goons. And then for the chainsaw phase, I'm actually going to go for solely some counter kicks, just to shake things up a little bit, because there's not much else that you can do for this fight.
Hey, look at me, I'm ready.
Wow, epic man.
What the hell? Deep fried pizza. Oh my god. Kill yourself!
Fuck you, fucking dick! Always naysaying! not an incel. My internet friends call
Oh yeah, this mod has a couple quirks, as you can see, like the animation when you're walking around with a gun. Just try to ignore that. I do have a bit of a confession to make. I fucked up. I thought that not disabling the music for the vanilla no damages would make my job easier by, you know, not having to fiddle with the music in post, but I realized a bit too late that that fucks up some of the dynamic intros, and if I ever go into the menu, now I can't speed it up, because that's also going to fuck up the music. There are a few fights that don't have this issue, but sorry in advance for the ones that do.
Oh, keep blowing up.
I'd like to place an order for delivery.
Patrick? Is that you?
Hey Mario, let me get a large double olive.
どうしてもお帰りいただけないようでしたら実力行使ということになりますね。よろしいですか。はあ、いい度胸しとるやんね。ほんならこっちも力ずくでも教えてもらうで。
So yeah, Minami is definitely one of the gems in this game. I think he's a really fun and well-made boss. I wish they, you know, didn't just drop him like halfway through the game and then he never shows up ever again. He's cool. I like him. I think it definitely helps that Akiyama is really fun to play as and also just really overpowered. But you'll notice here that the return of the reversal tech from Yakuza 3 is present in this fight. It's much less impactful for Akiyama than it is for Kido, and, you know, Majima and Tanimura just can't use it at all because they don't have reversals. But it's still, you know, nice to have to shake things up a little, even if I'm kind of dropping here in the beginning, but it gets better as the fight goes on. I was actually debating going for a better no damage, but I kind of just didn't want to. And it honestly fits how scuffed this video is as a whole, in many aspects, as you will come to see. Counter kick, and then I'm just gonna go and kick him against the wall for a bit. And then Minami's gonna start spamming his grounded attack for some reason, and I don't know why, but that is the trigger for his Feel the Heat, but I don't know that, so I just kind of stand there for a second. But, oh well, now we're in the Feel the Heat, and it's gonna finish him off. So, now we have Tesso from Lost Judgment. I didn't want to put the actual boss tracks from the Judgment games, so I have actual different picks. But many of these are copyrighted, like the one playing right now being Butterfly City, the licensed track that the JP version of Yakuza 4 uses. Another thing about the music is that so many of the bosses in this game I would consider to be jokes that about half of the song picks in this video are joke picks. You know, surprisingly hard to get a lot of unserious songs, but I did it, and I hope you enjoy it. You might not, but oh well. It's a damn shame that Akiyama really only gets 2 good bosses in this game, you know, Minami being one of them, and he's really fun to play as, and I even think that it extends to Higashi here. You will very, very soon learn that the Judgment mod was very much not meant for no damage, and Higashi's the only one where it's really practical at all. I really had to try for some of the other ones. Now, things are going to get a little bit wacky after this first juggle here in the beginning. I'm going to try and get back into something substantial, but it doesn't really end up working out. But eventually he's going to start doing the whole ground attack spam thing again. And, I mean, we're not there yet, but at this point it's really just me trying and failing to get a juggle again, which, you know, doesn't really work out. Once again, this no damage is a little bit scuffed, but it kind of fits the vibe of the video. Yeah, there we go. He's going to go into his ground attack spam, get a taunt, and then run up into the field of heat. Awesome. But this time, it's not going to end up killing him, so I do have to finish it off with a heat action. Now, if I was using the health mod for this game, that would probably really suck, because that means that I wouldn't be able to do the climax battles, because for some reason, the ones in this game have time limits. I couldn't tell you why. And it'd probably be impossible to no damage Minami in 2.5 minutes. Yeah, so, now we're getting into Saejima. And a lot of these no damages are going to be really short, because Saejima outputs a crazy amount of damage. A single heat action from him can take out, like, 50 to 75% of a health bar. Especially if you have Payback Ring. I mean, even here, and I'm still learning how to use him, Saito's still going to go down pretty quickly after just, like, 2 heat actions. Like, I'm going to do the get up heat action here, boom. That's going to take out a big chunk. Honestly, I was kind of surprised how fun Saejima was to no damage with. I mean, he probably had the most fun no damages out of all of the characters, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, it's just, with his moveset, it was limited enough to make, you know, finding strategies fun, but not so limited that it was painful. So this may be the single worst thing I've ever had to do for Yakuza no damages. Unlike Saejima, who was pretty fun, Kaito in this mod is on the same level as Drunk Date from that one Kiwami 1 climax battle. He's Saejima, but everything is slower. And that's saying a lot, considering Saijima's already pretty slow in this game. And not only is he slower, but all of the tools that you do have are completely gutted. Not even the juggling mod, which I use as a crutch for these judgment characters, helped. Because most of the time, enemies are just going to fall to the ground before you can hit them because your moves are so slow. Now, that's definitely not as much of a problem now as it is later, but you will definitely notice it later. So now, the second Saito fight isn't nearly as bad as some people make it out to be. You know, as long as you take care of the gun guy really quickly, you can just pick up his gun and use it on the goons to clear them all out. As you're going to see here. And really, after you take care of the goons, it's pretty easy. I'm just going to, like, you know, bait Saito over here to make the pickup easier so I don't get clipped while I'm picking up the gun, but yeah, all these goons are gonna go down pretty easy, and then it's just Saito, and I mean, it's basically just like the first fight again, but with fewer walls. A common thing that you'll see a lot of people do with Saito for no damage is to bait his running attack, which allows you to either go behind and do a back combo or block it and do Saijima's version of the Komaki knockback like that, which for some reason gives him a guaranteed thrower heat action on almost every enemy. I don't really do it here, but it is an option that you will see in later fights. So you'll probably notice that the mod creator put a little addendum to Saito's intro, even though, once again, this fight isn't too bad, even with Kaito. It's really just the same idea as the beginning, just kill the gun guy and take his gun and use it on all the goons. Now, even if Kaito's version of knockback is a lot worse into the grab tech here, I'm still going to make a lot of use of it because he needs it. Even like, as you can see, it's got a bad hitbox and it's a lot slower, as you could probably guess, but he still needs it. And I somehow don't get clipped there, but I won't argue. But I am able to use it to pretty good effect here, because your regular tags are just way too bad to use against Saito. So I just kind of end up spamming some pretty busted heat actions to win. And yep, one more, and the fight's over. Yeah, so, Kido here is the first victim of me not disabling the music. No intro, sorry. But he's also a victim of Yakuza 4's bad boss design. Whose idea was it to make Kido a mid-game boss with a single health bar versus the character with the craziest DPS in the game? Yeah, I mean, one problem with Yakuza 4's crazy high damage is that it can be surprisingly easy to accidentally skip boss QTEs, which I end up doing here in both versions of the Kido fight. I mean, this is also technically possible in Yakuza 3, but your damage is much lower there to where it's not an issue. But yeah, Kido's done already. So yeah, you probably could have guessed that it was Yagami over Kido in this mod. But anyway, this is Rolling Eyes Fall Down the Shore, which is a fan track by Galactigal, who makes a ton of really, really good Yakuza fan tracks, and I definitely think that you should go check them out. But this one was made specifically for this fight on the beach with Kido. I guess it technically doesn't make sense because this is Yagami, but my video, my rules. It's cool and I wanted to use it, but it doesn't matter because Yagami has one health bar still and he's dead. Ivan was actually a pretty annoying boss to no damage because you can't use any items in the Coliseum, and that includes clams so that I could decrease my health to retry quicker. I mean, other than that, he's really not super hard or interesting. He's one of the bosses where your square, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle can sneak past his guard pretty easily, which I do use here. But I mean, just like a lot of the other ones, it's not a super long fight either because, you know, Majima just kills you. So one thing I didn't know for the vanilla no damage of this fight is that you can just run up and do your charged grab attack on Ivan for free, which is pretty cool. I mean, I really don't have any good commentary to give on this fight though, so I'll see you in the next one. So, fun fact, this is the only boss fight in the game where Majima is in his normal clothes. Minami is way too fast for Majima to deal with normally, so the crux of my strategy here is to abuse his drinking animation. So after he gets up here, he's gonna start drinking, and I'm first going to set up a little bit of a wall bound here, where I do the wall heat action. I kind of mess up in the beginning, but I'm still able to get it after that kick there. And boom. But for some reason, For some reason, that heat action takes a really long time to load. But I'm still able to get it. Still does a crazy amount of damage. And it's going to set him up to do his drink again. This time I'm going to lower my health for it. Boom, hit him against the wall. He's going to get up. He's going to start drinking. Boom, I'm actually going to hit the charge this time. Barely not get hit, but that's going to get me to the clothesline heat action, and that'll be the end of the fight. So this attempt is going to start out fairly similarly to the vanilla one, where I'm going to get some hits on Tesso before I time a charge attack on him when he's done with his drinking animation. And first I'm just going to hit him with heat action there, then he's going to start drinking. And there we go. After the drinking animation is done, I don't really get the whole thing because blah 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 blah, Kaito's slow, something like that. But here in a bit, I will be pulling out a sword just for a bit of heat action variety. Unfortunately, the only way to get the grounded heat action that I'm going to do right here is to do the charged sword command grab, because for some reason, Saijima's animation for pulling out the sword is stupidly slow. That sword heat action is going to get him down really low, but this no damage is going to go on for quite a while, because I'm so scared that any hit I try to land is going to be whiff punished that I kind of just run around like a headless chicken to try and bait out something for a while. I mean, Kaito's only safe option in this situation is to go for the running attack grab, but for some reason, as you saw there, and as you're going to see again in just a second, my first two just completely miss, and that third one there, the grab just doesn't activate even though I got heat. I don't know. But I am actually I can't speak. I'm actually able to get one later, but then I'm out of heat. So I was seriously considering speeding this part up, but I eventually decided against it because I thought it would look kind of weird and clash with the rest of the video. But eventually, Tesso's going to give me a good opportunity to hit a combo. Not quite yet, while he's doing his whole fire-breathing thing. But he's going to let me hit a combo on him right here. Yep. And that's going to be the fight. So here's Majima. And this fight was really fun to no damage if you ignored the looming threat of Majima killing you and your attempt if he decides to pull out his dumbass spin attack. That attack is, at least in the remastered version, completely 100% impossible to dodge or block, so fuck you. One thing I do like about this fight is that it's possible to abuse Majima's get-up attack. He has two different ones depending on how you knock him down. If you do the running attack grab, he's going to do the spinny one, which you can't really punish. But you'll see that I'm able to abuse wonky blocking mechanics here to knock him down and force him to do his other get-up attack, which is a free charge square triangle. Boom, got him. Get the clothesline heat action, going to do crazy damage. Let's go. And I'm lucky enough to have Majima decide to not pull out the Beyblade mode. And I'm going to be able to end the fight with one more heat action. So I'm pretty sure that this fight is completely impossible to no damage outside of the strategy I used here. Kaito's damage is so low that you're almost guaranteed to run into the spin attack, which kills your run immediately. The only way I found to actually no damage this fight was to essentially stunlock Majima, well, in this case, Xiao, and to chunk away his health bar with heat actions. And most of what I'm going to be doing is spamming the run attack grab to set up various heat actions for the whole fight. And of course, I'm still going to need good RNG to not get that spin attack. But Xiao is going to have very few opportunities to activate it anyway. But at least I'm actually going to be able to trigger the field of heat in this fight. So, boom, stomp on him. Hit the running attack again. Go for the grounded low health heat action, which is gonna get quite a bit of damage off. Awesome. But I think my whole idea of using the Judgment mod here was very funny. Not to mention the fact that there aren't that many cool combat mods for Yakuza 4. And plus, no one has really tried to do no damages with this. I see why people have not tried to do no damages with this. That's mostly on me, though, for picking this mod, so I can't really complain. Now, this song might get my video claimed, so I gotta keep yapping. But I am continuing the trend of using the D&B for the Majima fights. This time it's another track by Yukai, the person who made Demi Boy, which was the track that I used for Majima 1 in Yakuza 3. This is Blood Roses, and I think it works quite well in the Yakuza 4 version of Majima here. But yeah, we're going to be going into the Field of Heat, and it's going to get some damage off, but it's going to barely not kill. But I do have my sword out, luckily, and I will be ending the fight with my sword. Not a heat action, but I'm just going to stab Xiao, and it's going to get the fight done. Boom, there we go. This fight kind of sucked to no damage. So, these guys are barely a boss fight, but if you've played this game, you would know that Tanimura's boss selection is lackluster, to put it lightly. They do have a Field of Heat, so I guess they count. But basically, the strategy here is to heat action the gun mini-boss until said Field of Heat activates. And that's gonna take care of him. And whenever he's dead, you start dealing with the sword guy, and when you do, pick up his sword and get rid of the goons. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're already going to be going into the Field of Heat here. Yep. I don't know why it doesn't do more damage, this Field of Heat, because you'll see the sword guy is at full health, and he's going to get shot like 8 times, and it's only going to do like a fifth of his health bar. Like, I don't know, if you get shot 8 times, you're probably dead. But either way, now it's just time to focus on him, hit him with some heat actions, get his health down. And, you know, once he's dead, pick up his sword. And the sword should scare all of the goons and make it pretty free to take care of them. Like, boom, he's done. Okay, just for a little bit of variety, I'm going to go for that parry heat action there. One thing that sucks about this heat action is that it does not kill. It is impossible to kill with that heat action because it sets up a grab. And you always have to do the grab. Okay, hit him with the sword heat action. Awesome. Alright, that guy's dead. And it's just one guy and he's scared, so it's going to be really easy to set up something with him. Okay, I'm not able to convert, but one more heat action. Yep, he's done. Okay, so now I get to play as Sugiura, who might be even worse than Kaito if it wasn't for his parry. Think of him as Tanimura, but all of your basic attacks are essentially unusable. The strat here is basically the same though. You know, target the gun guy, do the Field of Heat, and get the sword guy, and finally kill the goons. I will have a lot more to say in the next fight. And now we get to Tanimura's only real boss, Sugiuchi. He's a real diamond in the rough for this game, but I do hate how limited you are when he goes into heat mode, since he can completely ignore your parry, but otherwise, really good boss. It's a damn shame that it's the only one that Tanimura has. Now, I start out this fight with wall strats, where I'm going to parry Sugiuchi into the wall and go for the stun heat action. I try to get the square, square, square triangle heat action from it, but it ends up not working for some reason, and instead I'm going to do the get up heat action. Awesome. Now from here, I'm going to do some of Tanimura's knockdown combos. He's much worse at them than Kido or Akiyama, mostly due to the absence of a quick step cancel, but most of what you're going to go for here are little 1 or 2 taps before going into a heat action of some kind. You're going to see here, boom, boom, yeah. He's going to hit him with like some jabs and then go for a heat action, or maybe not. Okay, there we go. So I do kind of flub here because towards the end he's gonna break out on my grab, but luckily I'm very easily going to be able to get him back into a combo after a parry. As you see here, breaks out on my grab and then get into a parry. Gonna do another heat action. Boom. It's barely not going to kill, but it will get him very low, and he's gonna be down after like one more parry. So I'm in kind of a bad spot here because this no damage is like 3 minutes from beginning to end, including the intro here. And I picked a copyrighted song to play, so I gotta yap. The reason this is so long is because Sugiura is really bad. I tried my best to make this seem kinda cool, but once again, you're really just limited with this mod. This fight may have been genuinely impossible if not for the juggle mod, but I was able to make it work. Now, the way that this no damage starts is basically the same as the vanilla version. The only real way to set up a juggle with Sugiura is to parry the enemy into a wall, because his attacks are otherwise just way too slow. And, you know, now that we're actually getting into the fight, don't mind the fact that, you know, he just regained health there. I just spliced together the what's it called? The intro and the QTE into the Ultimate Battle version, because retries are easier on this one. But yeah, I'm gonna try and hit the square triangle heat action, but he just doesn't want to get hit by it because, you know, it's too slow. But either way, now I'm gonna parry him into the wall and go for an actual juggle combo, and this is gonna drag him all the way to the other side of the map. But you can see this is about the extent of what Sugiura can do. But I can hit a heat action off that, so that's pretty cool. So, after I do get that heat action, I'm going to bring him over to this green truck, Haha Kiwami truck. This truck has some really weird wall collision, which allows me to hit the square, square, triangle heat action, which is otherwise not possible because, say it with me, Sugiura's attacks are too slow. But, you know, what's wrong with a little creativity? So, now it's just going to be about getting some more damage off. Parry him into the green truck, Haha Kiwami truck. And this is eventually going to lead to Kuroiwa going into heat mode, which I did actually plan for this time. I'm managing my heat carefully, and I'm going to be baiting out a grab from him, which is going to allow me to do the grab reversal heat action. He's going to do here in just a little bit. And just a little bit. Okay, he's gonna do like his big long animation like that, and then he's gonna grab me, boom, get the grab heat action. Awesome. But of course this is Tanimura, so it's gonna do way less damage than Kiryu for some reason. But so after that, it's I kind of just start ad-libbing various things because I really hadn't gotten this far, and not to mention that the ultimate battle timer is a serious consideration here. Rather unluckily, Kuroiwa is going to re-enter heat mode, and I'm really not sure what to do about it. You'll see here after I'm just kind of doing shit, he's going to get up, and boom, he's going to go back into heat mode, and I'm kind of just confused. But I am able to bait out a really laggy attack, which lets me do another Hail Mary square triangle heat action. Boom, right there. But this is barely just not going to kill, because it is kind of stale, I guess, because I used it earlier. Oh no, I reused heat actions. Whatever will I do? This is going to be the death of me. But I'm just going to parry him into the corner, hit him a few times, do a stomp heat action, and boom, that's the end of the fight with 10 seconds to spare. Let's go. Okay, Saito 3. Back to Saito. Yeah, let's go this time with Kido. This is basically just like Saito 2, but it's a little more cramped. And now we're with a character with more crowd control options. I'm going to start the fight with a throw to knock down most of the crowd. It's going to let me take care of some of the stragglers. And other than that, this fight is basically just the same as the last one, where I'm going to bait Saito's running attack after I take care of this last guy. Stomp on him. Boom. And yeah, running attack time. Except this time, I can parry it because that's an option that Kido has. Alright, I'm just gonna clear this whole fucking crowd with Yagami's running attack because it's got a giant hitbox for some reason. Awesome. Now you'll see here, I'm actually able to set up Essence of Terror, which can be really finicky, but, you know, it's, you know, like one of the best crowd control heat actions in the game, even if it's kind of hard to set up. Even luckier is that I'm able to do it without catching Saito, which allows me to clear out 4 of the basic enemies, which is what I'm trying to do with it. Now this is just gonna leave Saito, but unfortunately the abundant walls in this room aren't really conducive for juggles, so this is once again basically the same as the vanilla version, where I'm gonna run away and, you know, bait out the running attack and parry it. Okay, I'm gonna get a little stun. I'm gonna try and go for a little juggle, but it's not really gonna work because he's just gonna get wall bounded and he's gonna fall to the ground. Alright, one more parry, awesome. Whiff it, of course, because I suck. I can't even get a grab off of that for some reason, even though I'm doing the parry tech. Or not parry, knockback. But in this fight off, I will be able to, you know, land a heat action, and I will be able to land a tiger drop without getting hit, because the tiger drop in this mod has better, I guess, it's not fully invincible because you still can get hit, but it's slightly better. And here's the finale of Saito, and what do you know, I'm gonna parry his running attack. And so this arena is just a giant box, so most of what I'm gonna get here are some wall combos. I do drop the first one, but I'm able to do a bounding throw into a heat action afterwards, as you're gonna see. Okay, boom, get the square triangle. There we go. Another bounding throw into the heat action. Let's go. I think this heat action is pretty cool. I wish it was in Yakuza 3, but it's not. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure Majima can do it in Yakuza 5, but he can't in this game, which I think is a little shitty. I wish he could. Might make some of his no damages a little more spicy, just to have an extra heat action, but, you know, can't have everything. But yeah, that's basically health bar and a half down, and I'm gonna continue by just, you know, parrying his running attack and, you know, doing wall combos, and with a heat action he's done. Okay, so the modded version of this fight pissed me off so bad. I would always get clipped by one of Saito's dumbass giant hitboxes, and every time I had to restart, I had to do the entire goddamn long battle all over again. And the worst part was, this is my second attempt no damaging this, because for some reason, my recording software bugged out and just decided to not record past the first 7-ish minutes of attempts. So I have to go back and do this shit all over again, and I was pissed. Now, I apologize if this isn't the most exciting no damage in the world, because I was trying to play this super safe. Plus, the walls make juggles really inconsistent. But, I don't know, I didn't want to deal with it. I was mad. Alright, so I'm just gonna basically speedrun killing Tanimura. I'm gonna knock Akiyama down real quick, and I'm gonna bait out a parry from Tanimura, and I'm gonna do the crazy death, kill people heat action. Boom, there we go. That's going to take out almost his entire health bar, because that heat action is crazy. And I'm gonna do a quick step attack and somehow barely avoid getting hit by Akiyama, but that's Tanimura down. And from here, I'm gonna go and do some wall combos on Akiyama. I am able to get a bounding throw, but I am not really able to convert off of them, as you'll see here in a minute. Boom, get the square triangle, and I can't really get my quick step attack, which is unfortunate. So I'm just gonna go for a bit of a back combo, which doesn't quite work because Akiyama's gonna tech it, and I get lucky enough for him to hit a grab, which allows me to do the grab reversal heat action and fight. Awesome. So the strat is going to change a little bit now that it's Sugura and Higashi, but it's not super different. Sugura attacking so slowly is actually going to work in my favor, because you'll see at the beginning of the fight, I can block his first hit, drop my guard, and spam triangle for basically a buffered tiger drop, which I think might actually be invincible. I'm not sure. I said earlier that it isn't, but I'm not sure actually. So yeah, you'll see here, I'm gonna go for the block. That's not gonna quite work that first time, but there we go, buffered tiger drop, awesome. Then grab him and do the heat action, and that's gonna get us down to the field of heat. Boom. And that's basically gonna be Tanimura done, because I hate Tanimura and I wanted to kill him for both versions of this fight before I dealt with Akiyama. I have to keep talking because this is once again a copyrighted song, but I really don't know what to say right now. Just this field of heat's a little goofy, but now that it's just Higashi, I do have to slow down a lot because Yagami can't box super well, even though he has the boxer style, but not in this game. Not in this mod, he only has Tiger, unfort. For some reason, he's gonna start grabbing me a lot, so I am basically forced to do the grab heat action again, as you'll see here in just a moment. I mean, right now I'm just doing like running attacks because it's like my best burst option. There's one grab, there's two grabs, I do the heat action, and it's still not gonna stop him from grabbing me. And 3 grabs coming up. 3 grabs, let's go. 4 grabs, let's go. 5 grabs, let's go. I don't know what his addiction to grabbing is, but I mean, maybe it's because I'm blocking a lot, but still. So I am able to actually get a hit here to do combos with. And boom, there's going to be a juggle, but it's a terrible one because I fucked it up. But yeah, so I drop it immediately, and fight's almost over, but I am able to just land a grab and get a throw for the win. Boom. So these guys fucking suck, and I think this cheap as shit strategy might be the only way to do no damage on this fight. So, after this, like, long-ass intro for no reason, I'm gonna start by bum-rushing the gun guy with heat actions, because he will snipe you from across the arena. As soon as it actually gets there. Yeah, okay. Do the fucking E-Honda heat action, and then he's gonna get up and hit him with the gun heat action. Never mind, hit him with a bounding throw. I forgot my own strategy. And then I'm gonna hit him with the down heat action. And, okay, he's gonna be dead. And then I have to run away because the fucking green guy is gonna follow you constantly because he's on crack. And I'm gonna try and get to a good spot where I can knock him down with a bounding throw, so then I can go and insta-kill the red guy with a heat action, which is pure RNG, because sometimes the red guy just decides to not attack you, so you can't parry him. So, not quite. Not quite. Okay, maybe one more. Nope, not quite. Maybe right here, maybe? Nope. I fucked it up. Awesome. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna hit the bounding throw, and then I'm gonna get good RNG, and he attacks me, parry him, do the crazy kill guys heat action, and that guy's dead. So now that he's dead, I just have to kite the purple hammer dude and slowly whittle down the green guy's health. Alright, so now that green guy's done up, the purple guy is easy. I mean, you can just parry the long hammer animations, you can just block it. If for some reason you can't. But, boom, there we go. Get a little bit of a wall combo. And, you know, hit him with a heat action, repeat heat action. Oh well, fight's over. Fuck this fight. So there's absolutely no way that I'm doing this shit again, so enjoy the speed run.
Oh, すごいね。俺に初めて出会った時からその覇気があってくれりゃこんなことにはならなかっただろうに。もう時計の針は戻らないんですよ。後悔しても始まらない。ああ、来いよ。行くぞー、秋山
Yeah, so one thing that has always bothered me about that intro is, and I never see it mentioned, is how in that intro, when Arai says, Iguzo Akiyama, you can very clearly hear the microphone peak, and it bothers me, but I feel like I'm going insane because I've never seen anyone say anything about it anywhere. I feel like I should be in an institution. But, you know, final boss's time. Let's go. Yakuza 4 peaks pretty early, just like how I peaked in high school, because this is probably the best out of the 4. Not that you'll really get to see much of Arai anyway, because I'm just gonna kill him. I used the heat action in the beginning there to set up into the... Get him into the corner where he's basically gonna get infinited, but the infinite looks cool, so it gets a pass. And he's already down to his last health bar. Awesome. So I actually had a problem with most of the final boss recordings, was that for some reason, a lot of them had audio desyncs. I tried to fix them, so I hope everything sounds okay. I don't know why it happened in the first place. But yeah, I mean, there's not much left to it right here. I mean, I'm just trying to do some cool stuff with like the reversal that he does. And I'm gonna hit one heat action, and now we're gonna be in Feel the Heat, and the fight is basically over.
Oh, すごいね。俺に初めて出会った時からその覇気があってくれりゃこんなことにはならなかっただろうに。
もう時計の針は戻らないんですよ。後悔しても始まらない。
ああ、来いよ。秋山
Well, I hope you enjoyed that intro because that one and the third one are the only ones without copyrighted music. But hey, that's why the no commentary versions exist. If you really care enough to go see it, you can go watch that. Now, this version of the Arai fight, well, now the Hamra fight, is kind of the same idea as the vanilla version, just with juggling instead of corner combos. All the modded bosses in this mod use their own movesets, or at least like a Frankenstein-together version of it. The Hamra moveset for this one can actually be a little tricky to play around because some of his moves come out crazy fast and don't really have clear animations. This doesn't matter too much though, because Akiyama/Higashi is so broken that you just loop him for the entire fight anyway. I mean, really, what else do I have to say about this one? I mean, he's just going to be looped into in the corner for the whole fight. But there, I get a heat action there. Get the guard break heat action off the reversal, because with the juggling mod, you can actually make them go forwards instead of just like in the other way. I don't know why I can't word, but I mean, like in the vanilla version, when you're doing like your knockdown combos, they will go away from you, but with juggles, they will go towards you. So you can actually hit the guard break heat action.
Akiyama さんの店であの金を見たとき、チャンスだと思ったんです。冴島さん、俺に言ったじゃないですか。極道のチャンスは一度きりだって。俺は今感じるんです。今がまさにその瞬間だってことを。そうか。なら俺がちゃんとお前の思い受け止めたるわ。しっかりお願いしますよ。ああ、手加減なし。 中かもしれへんけど文句言うんだけどええなはいおりゃ起動
So one cool thing that I found out about Majima is that you are somehow able to activate the clothesline heat action after getting a low bounce from square, 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 triangle, triangle. See here in just a moment. I didn't find that out until doing attempts on this very fight, and I thought it was really cool, so I wanted to incorporate it into my no damage. Now, the strategy for Kido is pretty neat too. You know, Kido's gonna enter heat mode really quick right after this heat action. And when he does enter heat mode, he will almost always do his running attack if you run away from him. Now, this running attack has a pitifully bad hitbox, which allows you to freely charge a square triangle, which allows you to do some short combos. Kido has knockdown immunity otherwise, so this strat allows you to make the fight a little more interesting. Now, I do come up with a lot of these strategies on my own, but this one I very much did not. This is something that other people came up with. But I mean, Kido isn't an interesting final boss at all from a story standpoint, but, you know, at least this tech makes the fight itself a little better. It allows you to do some short, bounding. Boom, get the, yeah, little combos like that. Not too bad. Now, one thing that does kind of suck is that this fight does take a little bit if you aren't spamming heat actions, because, I mean, I'm just about to take care of Kido's first health bar. He hasn't even healed yet. There we go. Yep. He's about to start healing. And, of course, I got to charge with him, as you do. But, I mean, it's basically going to be the same. He's going to be out of heat mode right now. So I'm just going to hit him with one more heat action. Boom, did the get up heat action, and he's gonna go back into heat mode. And after that, it's just bait his running attack some more. There we go. And now he's gonna start healing for the second time, and that's gonna be Feel the Heat, and the fight's gonna be over. So, I do have to talk over this intro because I decided to use a Kanye song, and that will get my video taken out back and shot. Speaking of intros, though, if you didn't know, the remastered versions of 3, 4, and 5 have a music slider that lets you mute the music. This is great for my no damage videos because it allows me to put in the alternate music for the modded versions. You know, great. All the games do that, but I think specifically for 3, 4, and 5, it's just on PC. But with these games specifically, though, it also mutes the voices in the dynamic intros for some reason. But I did recently find out a way to fix this, though. If you go into the files and find the music tracks themselves, you can replace them with a completely silent .adx file, which will make the voices play again without any background music. Why they made this so hard, I'm not sure, but at least it's possible, so I don't have to do a shitty dub like I did for Mine and Yakuza 3. Now, I don't know why Kingo, of all people, was chosen to be a final boss. Maybe because Kido's kind of a goober that has no reason to be there, and Kingo isn't a super important character either. But this fight is fucking brutal to no damage. It's definitely more possible than Xiao, but still not fun. This fight is just a heat action fest all over again. I mean, there are two big things about Kingo specifically that makes this fight so hard to no damage. For one, he's got a new running attack, which you can see there. It's a dropkick, and it has a much better hitbox, which makes it very hard to exploit, especially as Kaito. And secondly, the far worse change is that for some reason, Kingo stays in heat mode forever, unlike Kido, who cycles in and out of heat mode. So basically my strat here is to block his running attack to build heat, and just let the heat actions rip. I pull out a sword for a little bit of variety here in just a moment. And I will be able to hit the sword command grab, which lets me send him into his healing phase. Boom, block it, and get the command grab. Awesome. And now he's so low, he's going to start healing. And I just found out that apparently said healing phase is interruptible with the heat action, even though you can only really do one with the weapons, which is probably why. But this is going to completely skip like his second phase basically, and immediately going to take us into feel the heat. I'm pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to use a sword, by beating someone over the head with it, but if it lets me no damage the fight, then so be it. I mean, this is the last fight that I had to no damage with Kaito, thankfully, and somehow, despite everything, it still isn't the worst no damage in this video, and that is an accomplishment.
来い。俺が登場界という大門の重さ、きっちり体で教えてやるぜ。行くぞ、キル！
Alright, so I'm gonna go into the corner here, and sorry, but this is really the only Yakuza 3-esque Kido combo that you're gonna see in this video, because all of his other bosses just don't work with them except Daigo, and Daigo really just doesn't care past his first phase. So I do need to take a different approach for the rest of the fight. After I get this heat action there, boom, gotta take out quite a bit of his health. Awesome. Now that combo got him low enough to get him to the first of two very weirdly animated QTEs. This first one is kind of just a little lazy with how Kido and Daigo just copy each other's animations. Plus I think it's just a bit too long. Not as bad as the second one though in terms of length. Now, this is going to put him into his second phase, where I go for one of the only safe tiger drops that I'm able to do in this game. Not there, that's the parry. Boom. Mounting throw, and this is going to set him up for a tiger drop. Well, I missed that one, but he's going to do it again. Boom, tiger drop. And now I'm able to land the drunken thrust heat action, which does a crap ton of damage like all other Yakuza 4 heat actions. And this is going to get him so low that he goes into the objectively funniest QTE in the game, which allows me to thankfully skip the third phase where he gets super armor and the fight shits the bed. And GG's.
来い。俺が登場界という大門の重さ、きっちり体で教えてやるぜ。行くぞ、キル！
So this fight is going to start out similarly to the vanilla version, where I'm going to bring Kuana over here into the corner to do a big combo while he's still vulnerable and not in heat mode. So this is going to take away basically his whole first health bar, and he's going to go into the first QTE. Awesome. So I do want to briefly talk about this song though. This is Soul Phase Last Battle, a Persona 3 fan remix by Glimpse of a Memory on YouTube. This song is crazy good and somehow has only about 1,800 views as of the time of me doing this commentary. So you should definitely go give it a listen. It will be linked in the description. But yeah, now we're in the QTE and we're going to be going into Phase 2. And I do have kind of a weird strategy where I can do a setup to buffer a parry after doing a knockback, as you'll see in just a moment. There we go. Basically just buffer a parry. And it's going to let me bounding throw him and continue juggling Kuana even in heat mode, which can be kind of hard. Yeah, I'm going to do that little juggle there, but after hitting him with this heat action, he's going to go into his super heat mode where he gets full super armor. Awesome. This phase is pretty tricky to deal with, but I do have a plan. Now, after going into the menu, getting drunk, you will see me kind of just standing there and dodging his attacks because I'm waiting for my heat to build up since I lowered my health. I'm aiming to do the other drunk heat action where you run into him. The only thing is, you can only do this heat action if the enemy is not attacking, and this is really hard work since Daigo / Kuana is attacking near constantly. The solution I found was to just run away. You can catch him before he pulls out a running attack, and that heat action will get him down to the second QTE. This QTE is no joke, by the way. I mean, the mashing isn't very lenient at all, plus it's just very long, so you just gotta spam that shit for like 10 seconds. The QTE just barely doesn't kill, so I'm just gonna do a running attack to finish him off.
So れじゃあ現場捜査の時の感覚数十年ぶりに味わってもらいましょうか。
やれこいつは早く殺せ。
副総監いや宗像静四郎お前の野望はここで終わりだ。覚悟しろ。
Yeah, so sorry if I'm ruining the moment a little bit, but the fight you're about to see is about as long as this intro. I cheesed the fuck out of it. There are people who have done legit no damages of this fight. They have stronger wills than I. The modded attempt is more so my actual attempt at no damaging this fight because I didn't want to leave the video off on such a shit note, but I was not doing this fight twice. And you'll hear me say way more in the modded version. See you there. So, since this is a copyrighted song, I've kinda put myself in a pickle because I now have to yap for the next 6.5 minutes straight. I may or may not start going off about grilled cheese like I did on the Yakuza 0 final boss again. But basically, what this attempt is a less cheesy version of the last one, but I'm still going to be using weapons. I really hope you like seeing the basic knife heat action because it will be ingrained into your psyche by the end of the fight. Now, I was tempted to use the vocal version of For Faith for this fight because it's technically different, I guess, and because this is better than the last no damage, but I already had this song in mind, so I eventually decided against it. I guess that would have spared me from having to talk constantly, though. So, now that we're actually in the fight, I am going to be in the fight in a second. I will be immediately going to lower my health and get drunk to min-max the amount of heat I have because I want to have heat at all times. And what I'm going to do here to start is abuse Sugiura's crazy huge throw hitbox, and I want to make sure to hit all of the basic bodyguards at least once because this is going to set them up to be one shot by the knife heat action. Yes, I know that's a sword, but the game considers it to be just a really big knife. At this point, I don't really have to worry about getting shot because I'm using the Sacred Wood Armor, though this will be a tiny issue later in the fight. But what I needed to do there was kill 3 of the regular bodyguards, which will make Munakata send out his stronger ones. And I'm going to try and get a couple more of the regular ones, and I'm luckily able to get 2 of them before the Field of Heat activates. And it should be, yep, there we go. And this Field of Heat doesn't really help much for this strategy at all, because all it does is take out about 1/4 of a health bar on like 5 guards, I think, which isn't really going to help all that much. At best, it will do a little bit of damage on an elite bodyguard like that, which doesn't help too much, but it's something, I guess. But it is important to be aware of where you are when the Field of Heat kicks in, because you'll be in that exact same spot when it finishes. And there is a non-zero chance that there will be bodyguards ready to ruin your attempt frame 1. So here, I'm just trying to single out some more basic bodyguards, and Munakata is going to bring back all of his strong ones. And at this point, you just need to pick off any of the basic guards that are still left. Now, just for a tiny little itty-bitty smidge of variety, I'm going to try and go for the 2-person grab heat action. But it is going to take me a second to set up, because that, for some reason, is just going to do like the glitched throw animation or whatever, instead of doing the heat action. So I gotta wait for this guy to stand up, and he's just kind of groveling on the ground, so it takes a minute. And I'm going to be able to grab him in a moment, and barely dodge the knife attack from that guy, but that is going to take care of all of the basic bodyguards. So now we're basically going to be getting into what is phase 2 of the fight, where I have to take care of the stronger guards. Now, the 2 elite guards are basically just beefed up regular ones, and I will not be taking any risks whatsoever in regards to them. So I'm just going to sit back and continue to spam the knife heat action. Now, eventually when I do get one of them down low, I'm just going to run in and use the invincible circle attack, like that, just to make my life a little bit easier, because I have plenty of swords to go around. And I'm just going to continue to stab the elite guards. Not like that, I wanted to do the heat action, but at least I didn't get hit. Now, I will be getting to the bodyguard captain in a second, but with the little bit of downtime I have, I would like to briefly compliment the aesthetic of Yakuza 4's finale here. As much of a Yakuza 4 hater as I am, I will give credit where credit is due. The whole vibe of this finale is just sick. I mean, it's a very triumphant and is one of the most positive endings to any game in the franchise, and I think that's really nice and something that the series should try more often. The songs all being different versions of each other and, you know, having the same motifs and everything, this all ties it together, and, like, the money flying everywhere is cool as fuck. But now that I'm on the captain, I do take a very slightly different approach. Instead of doing the basic knife heat action, I'm just going to spam the circle attack with the rest of them. And this is where the Sacred Wood Armor can be a little bit annoying, as it will stop what you're doing in order to block the bullets, which includes parrying. The bodyguard captain has moves that can ignore your block, so sometimes you can just lose your attempt because you blocked some bullets, which is why I'm just using my swords. But the captain is going to go down here in just a moment, and I'm going to try and parry. Boom, there we go. And I'm going to do the armbar heat action. Awesome. So the captain's dead, and at this point, I literally cannot fail the no damage anymore because Munakata's only attack is shooting you, and I have the Sacred Wood Armor. So this is just a victory lap where you can throw out whatever heat actions you want, including the basic knife one, because why not? But I guess here I'll just start wrapping this video up. So this game sucked to no damage. I did not like it. It was basically just like Yakuza 3's no damage, but with worse bosses and some extra characters. The modded version sucking was kind of on me though, but it was still funny. So what's the next one gonna be? What's the next no damage? Well, Exactions Kiwami isn't out yet, and probably won't be for some time, so it's still not going to be Kiwami. I've tried to go in order, but it hasn't really worked out, so I might just break the order completely. I've kind of felt like doing a Gaiden no damage, honestly, because that game looks like it'd be pretty fun to learn. I'm definitely taking a break from the no damages, though. I've got other videos to make, so, you know, this fight's about to end, and I hope you'll stay tuned for whatever it is that I'm going to put out next, but I still don't want to quite finish talking yet. Until the heat action happens, because, you know, still copyrighted songs, still don't want to get demonetized. That's what the no commentary version's for. But that is the end of the fight. Peace out.